Well, you guys, welcome to Dog Hugs. This is our 50th show. Big celebration with you today. Great to be with you, Robbie and Geraldine, to celebrate today. Geraldine, it looks like you're really celebrating on top there.
I am. I've got my potty ears on.
Your potty ears. Great. Yeah.
50 shows. That's a milestone. Congratulations, you guys. Takes a lot of work.
That is amazing.
Blood, sweat, tears, and fur.
You know, well, we started back on March 25th, and the intention was to go every day, and so we have, and here we are. So as we talk a bit, we're going to play a little video that's going to show you some of the folks that we've had as the amazing guests on this show. We would also love to hear from you guys. Is this your first time visiting the show? Or have you visited more? Please let us know, because we'd really like to involve you and even get to the point where we're trying to learn from you guys what you guys would like to see as we begin to move forward to our next 50 shows. So we do have already a hi from Catherine Bellinger. Great to see you, Catherine.
Hello.
Yep. And would love to hear from more of you. You know, some great guests. This is Paula Mounier. And of course, you've seen the Perandi All-Star Stunt Dogs, who will be with us again on Thursday. Caroline, this is your first time on the show.
Okay,
yeah, that was my birthday.
Yeah, and the amazing artist Sam Price. We've had such a wonderful range of speakers and performers and presenters. I mean, every single one holds a special memory for me. You know, Robbie, is there something you can reminisce about while I go attempt to get Spider to see if he might join us today? He's off in the other room barking, and I would love for him to be quiet enough to join us today.
We've demoted him. He's pretty ticked at us right now. He gave me stink eye at the beginning when I first signed on. He gave me a little stink eye. Because he doesn't like when he has a job change, and many people have a job change right now, so they can relate to what he's feeling like when it comes to changing his responsibilities around the house. So I'm sure that he'll make up to me later with some kisses.
Eventually, yeah.
He will, I promise. They always do.
Well, I'm going to go, while you guys talk for a moment, I'm going to go attempt to bring him in here. Once I hear some quiet, and I'm just now starting to hear some quiet. So I'll be right back, and let's see if we can get some dog trade. Oh, by the way, here's my neighbor, Nora.
Hi, Nora.
Or a spider.
Hear him all the way across the street. Huh?
She's understanding how he feels right now.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I hear him being quiet. I'm going to go get
Perfect
right now. I'll be
perfect.
Right back.
So, Robbie, I feel you.
What I have really loved about all of these shows is, first of all, I have learned such cool things, especially the lady's name who I completely forgot that we had on that showed Larry about wrapping up food inside of cloths as a way to keep your dog busy, the busy box.
The busy box,
so I like that, and I really love the speakers that Larry has had on from Heroic Public Speaking. We have just had like these inspirational authors and speakers, and I've just walked away with like such great advice and thoughts. And it's like something that I never would have thought would come from, a dog show, to kind of put it that way. And it's like, I love that it's something different every day. You have had such unique people, and I just love the idea that I've been involved in all of these and get to meet all these people in the pet industry and kind of deepen that relationship with them. And then we've got Geraldine with her wolf ears on. So love that you're here all the time.
It's fun. I totally agree.
So what are the wolf ears about?
So they're actually, I'm celebrating the 50th show, one, so I thought potty ears were appropriate. Number two, I do collect a lot of ears, so I have quite a few here. I will not force you to see all of them on my head. However, there's a story behind why I started with the ears, and it was to heal someone who was in the hospital. And I would go in to visit and stay there and put on different ears every day because she was 11 or 12 at the time. So it was a month, 30 days of cheering up a very sick girl. And so that's how it started. And now I use them to help kids understand. Like I used to teach classes in the public school system in Nevada about pet ownership, what it meant. And I used to dress like a dog when I went into the classroom so that they would be able to understand that, you know, what it means to be a dog. And so that was a lot of fun. And so the ears today are for celebration. They're also for the fact that we have to understand that our pets are not people. Our pets don't think like us. They have a different mindset. So, and they are wolf ancestors, like quite a bit of their DNA. So just paying attention to that fact helps you approach them from a different framework and then understand some of their barking back, like what we have going on with Spider and Larry today, which I anticipated. And it's a great thing to witness because many people are going through this. This is not just Spider. He is special, but he's not so special that he's the only dog on the globe that's going through this with their owners right now.
Good point. Yeah. So he just brought me the first empty towel out of the busy box. And Robbie, I'm glad that you mentioned the busy box because that's really been a breakthrough. That was Stephanie Strackbine.
That's who, yes.
Dog enrichment, and each one of these little towels has a few treats in it. Well, got an idea from one of our guests last week, Eva Bertelsen, who's now back in Sweden.
Oh, nice.
Trainer and behaviorist, one of the best in the world in my view, next to Geraldine. She says, well, why don't you try experiment with Spider, sit. Take one towel at a time out of the treat box. Let's see what happens with that. So we're experimenting with that right now, taking one towel at a time out of the box. So here's our second one, and Spider is going to sit, and he's going to wait. Back up a little bit so you're on camera. Good boy. Wait there. Okay. Go ahead.
Love it.
So let's just see. Geraldine, you know, you're really helping me here with this. We did a wonderful show on Friday, Ask the Dog Trainer. We began to, on camera, really show, you know, little by little about trying to teach Spider not to bark so much. And we answered some of your questions. So any questions that you have, you're welcome to pose that. I
have a question.
Okay, Robbie.
So this is probably going to sound dumb, but Spider is so smart with tricks. I mean, all the stuff that you've had him do when he did like the challenge with the Pirandis. So if he can do that stuff, is that the same as like training your dog to not bark or walk on a leash? I mean, is like obedience the same as a fun trick for a dog or no?
Well, I'll give a quick answer, and then Geraldine, I'm sure you can give, you know, something that really digs in deeper. You know, my quick answer is I try to integrate all of that together when I work with shelters where I'm doing baby feedings.
He's done already, but he forgot to bring you back the towel. Go tell him to get the towel.
There you go.
Nice.
Where I integrate, very good, all the way. Where I integrate all this, you know, behavior, obedience, and tricks all at once. Thank you, Spider. That's very good.
Perfect, Spider.
So what would you want to add to that answer?
So I agree with Larry, but usually when you walk into a shelter, there's an imbalance in that dog. So you find where the imbalance is and focus on what Larry said, trying to integrate all of it, but spend a little time focusing on whatever that area is that they're lacking. That may be fear, that may be confidence, that may be, you know, lack thereof, or too much, just depending on what their history is. The issue lies here, Robbie, not when someone drops a dog off at the shelter. It's very rare they give full disclosure about what really happened, or they may not even know the background themselves, which is many times the case. The shelter itself doesn't either. And so it takes someone that's been around quite a few of these shelter dogs to be able to go, that one needs this, that one needs that, to be able to actually almost be like a psychic and know that was what was going on with that dog. And they give the signs. I use this as an example. I walked onto an elevator one day, and a lady put her hand on her stomach and pushed in and made this funny noise. And there was a gentleman on the elevator, and he turned and he said, "Do you have a hiatal hernia?" And she goes, "How did you know?" And he goes, "Well, I'm a doctor, and you just did what everybody else does that has a hiatal hernia." So
oh my God,
that makes sense. When I walk into a shelter and I see a dog doing something, I'm like, I know what happened to that dog. And then I see a dog doing something else, I'm like, I know what happened to that dog, because they're showing the same signs every dog that I've seen that's been through that has shown me.
Okay.
So through experience that I can be able to detect that. So your question is great in terms of, we try to give the best balanced training we can, but we have to find where they're lacking and build that up and catch that section up. Right now, Spider needs a different job, but he doesn't want to let go of the one he has, because it makes him feel comfortable and good, and it's not good for him. It's not healthy for him or Larry or anyone else for him to feel that way. So we're just changing his mind, and he'll catch on eventually. We let him tell us when he's ready, but we also put all the steps in place like we do with any shelter dog. So great question.
What are you, so when you talk about Spider like changing his mind, is it like because he was barking from inside the house and now he's getting a different job, or
So we demote slowly. So the first thing we did was we changed the way Larry was feeding Spider. He used to feed him a meal and then give him the busy box. And I said, why don't you make the busy box his meal? So one of the busy boxes in the morning is his meal, but make sure you eat something first, or fake eat his food before you put the busy box down, and then let him work for it. Then that raises his confidence level, makes him feel like he's done something for Larry for the day by coming up with his own meal, and feels protected while he did it. So it changes his fear level during his meal. And that's step one.
Oh, now that's interesting.
And I'm documenting each of those meals in a little video. When I get enough of them, I'll string them together and show them to you guys to show the progression. But in a nutshell, I'm like putting his food inside a box underneath a platform. And of course, the first thing he does is he lifts up the platform. I'm thinking he's going to go inside and get it out and solve the puzzle. No, he's just going to muscle his way through it.
That's hilarious.
Stand back on top of the platform.
But even if it's not hard, even if he does muscle his way through, it's still a really great activity for him to earn his meal. And it raises his confidence level because he was able to do it quickly, but it was still an activity. So it got his mental and his physical going at the same time, as opposed to him just wolfing down a bunch of food and having that in his stomach and then barking for treats because he wants more. So having him work for that meal is a really great first step in the morning.
So is this something that Spider will do like for the rest of his life? Like have a busy box for his meals, or no?
Great question. I don't foresee it being forever. I do see us changing up some of his morning routine, but I usually go through a 4-week, depending on the age of the puppy and the dog and the scenario. I'll have them try something for 2 to 4 weeks before I take them to the next level of training, or the next.
Oh, okay.
So and we see how they react too. He may love it so much he does have a busy box forever.
Yeah.
So because it would seem like it would be fun for a dog, right? I mean, you're not making it so difficult that they're going without a meal.
I wish I had one for myself. I'd eat for it.
Wait, can you put cheesecake in a busy box? Because I might try that. I don't know.
But does that make sense, where he gets up in the morning and he's used to flying outside and chasing cattle? This is a way for him to actually take that energy and transmutate it into where's breakfast.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
He is fast, that dog.
He is,
He is fast.
he really is. So we've got some other comments coming on. Yolanda, it's great to see you from Mexico. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're just so happy to be with you. And
thank you, Yolanda.
Charlotte, I'm not sure exactly what this means. It looks like Skype. What is that? Are you talking about Geraldine's ear?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Funny.
Or what is it? Is it Snapchat where you can put like on faces and ears?
Probably a filter.
Right. Yeah. Very good.
No, these are real, no filter.
And then my mom and dad. Yeah.
Nice.
In the variety of listening info.
Hi, Mr. K. Thank you for watching. Your son's amazing.
He is.
My parents are amazing too. Thank you.
Love.
Spider's barking. What
So
do you do next, G-Dog?
So why don't you go over and start treating him for quiet now. Let's practice that one more time to demonstrate. That's a really important thing I wish everyone would do. So let's walk them through the Spider quiet and then good boy.
We can while we see Spider and me, we can hear you. And of course we can hear Spider too. All right, so
let's bring him up on the platform, or you can just have him sit right in the middle of the floor.
All right. Spider, bring it. Good boy. Thank you. Sit.
Now ask him to sit.
Good. How about a sit? Oh, look at
Isn't it funny?
He's actually doing a down right now, and he resisted doing a sit. How about a sit? Good boy.
Thank you, Larry. Perfect.
Sit. Good boy, Spider.
Now say quiet. Spider quiet.
Okay. Now what?
Say Spider quiet, and then say good quiet, and then give him his reward.
Okay, he's lying down right now. Is that okay?
So this is the part of the training where I would like for you to direct him.
Okay.
Instead of him directing you. So when you train dogs in certain ways, you do capture a moment when they're actually offering you what you want them to do. But in this case, I want you to direct him. I want you to run him through a couple of different things: lay down, roll over, and then sit, and then just say quiet, and then reward him for what he's doing, and reward him for being quiet, just like as it's a trick he's doing. So say, Spider, sit, reward him. Spider, lay down, reward him. Spider, roll over, reward him, and then Spider, quiet, and then reward him.
All right, let's give it a whirl. Spider, stay. Yeah. Good. Wait there, buddy. Yeah. Hup. Good job. Okay. Good boy. Okay, Spider, come. Good boy.
Notice that Larry always says Spider's name first before he asks for him to perform a command. It's really important that you always use their name before you give the command for a couple of reasons. One is if you don't, especially if you have multiple dogs, they might perform for you, they might not. The reason why you do want to always use his name is that he will always be able to give you his attention or focus on you. So it's really important and that's a point I wanted to make. Larry does an incredible job of always using Spider's name before he asks him to do a command.
Thank you for that reminder.
No, you're doing great.
Yeah. Okay, Spider, sit. Yeah.
Now I want you to try quiet on one of these. Try quiet again.
Okay. Spider. So he's off in the corner of the studio over there. I hope you guys can see him. Okay, good.
He looks great.
Oh, good sad dog. Yeah, sad dog with wagging tail.
So, Geraldine, do you say quiet when they're not barking? Or if they're barking, do you say quiet to get them to somehow stop barking?
So, great question. So with that being said, I like to capture when I'm teaching them quiet. It always helps if you can capture a moment when they are quiet and treat them at that moment until they understand it. Once they understand it, then I give the command of Spider quiet and then treat him when he's quiet. So he now knows when I say Spider quiet, there's not only is that a command and that means don't bark, focus on me, but he also is rewarded for that. And eventually he won't have to be rewarded for that if we train him doing this properly, because this is not a bribe. This is actually training him to understand that that word means that action, and that's what Dad needs him to do right now.
So then eventually when Spider is in the midst of barking, if Larry says his name and then says quiet, then that will show him, oh, that's interesting.
Got it? So I train speak and quiet at the same time, and I look for them to bark, and then I entice them to bark, and I'll literally go, and don't make fun of me, I'll hold something and I'll say, Senna, speak, woo, and I'll bark at him. Because border collies don't really bark that much. So I gotta entice him to bark. So it's woo. Now, once he gets that, I don't have to do that anymore. I can just say, Senna, speak, and he goes, woo.
Good.
Okay.
Now, once I capture that, then I do the quiet. Then I do the Senna quiet, and then he goes,
okay,
because he knows he's going to be rewarded for closing his treat hole.
Okay.
Because he's he's a puppy still. He wants to have things in his mouth, and he wants to be silly. So, which is fine. I love it. Just a controlled silly.
True.
So this is really interesting. Spider got a little bit of interaction. He has left the studio. Elvis has left the building.
Wow.
That is a dog hugs first.
Wow.
Huh.
So
that's
is that a
really
good thing?
Great. Yes.
So why is that so good?
Yeah. Why?
Well, first of all, he's telling Larry he's kind of had enough for now. So he's going to go walk away for a minute and go, wow, that was a lot. And also you directed him. Notice how you pulled the rug out from underneath, the proverbial dog rug out from underneath him by directing him instead of letting him do all those tricks to get rewards for. So you're demoting him. So now he's going away for a minute. He's either thinking probably one of two things. One is I'll just step out and reset. He'll reset his brain, and when I go back in, he'll be able to. That could be one.
Look who's back.
I see a tail.
He's probably taking notes. And number two, it could be a level of he needs to go take a breath. Maybe he liked the way that interaction felt. Maybe he felt less fearful at that moment. There could be many things going on. So we're gonna kind of play this by wolf ear for a minute just to see how he shows us he responds. And it's not something they always show right away, but I can tell right now, it definitely feels like he's changed. He's shifted a furry notch.
Yeah.
Wait, you see this? I'm putting a treat out in the middle of the floor, and I'm going to have him wait to get it until I cue him.
Good.
Okay.
That is a trick I use, but let me tell you how I do this, Larry. I put a whole bunch of kibble in a bowl or treats in a bowl, and I set them on the floor, and I have Senna lay down and stay and wait for them. And sometimes he falls asleep waiting.
Oh my gosh.
Good.
He has to have he has to maintain composure for 20 minutes without me in the room. 20 minutes.
Gosh.
And he is up to 30. He's up to 30 now.
Wow.
It's not easy.
That's
He's
amazing.
worked hard. He's worked hard on it. But yes, there are times when I put that bowl down, and he does get a little bit as a reward, but I trick him, and then I take the treats out, put his kibble in. And then I put a little bit of something fun on the top. So he is being rewarded really well. Good job, Spider.
There. Good job.
Good job. Also, the other thing I'd like to mention is Larry's tone.
We'll have him wait a little bit. Spider, wait. Good wait, buddy.
Yes.
You can probably see that little dot in the back. That's the next towel. Anything more you want to say about that, Geraldine?
Well, your tone is so great with him, and tone really matters. And we'll go into tone more whenever appropriate. But Larry has a really great tone, control of his tone, so that he can communicate with Spider even better or more effectively.
Yeah, thank you for cheater.
And you can't really fake a tone with a dog.
Oh, no.
Not like you could fake good boy when you're really not feeling it.
So
because you had written an article before about, what was it called, Geraldine? Check your vibe.
Check your vibe.
Let me grab that link, because that was really cool, because our dogs do pick up. I'm going to find the link for everybody. I'm going to stick it in the
great
in the chat, because it was so good about how we have to, keep ourselves and our emotions in check. if we want our dogs to do the same.
Correct. Larry?
Geraldine, he jumped the gun, so I went and picked up the towel and brought it
Perfect. So did you ask him to wait or did you ask him to stay?
back. I usually use wait.
So why don't you?
I don't distinguish my verbal cues between wait and stay. I just choose to use the word wait.
So
it just sounds different.
which is great. And I interchange different words. The reason why the differentiation for my pet with wait and stay is wait is temporary and stay is until is a lot longer.
Okay.
So if I just ask him to wait, that's a pause. It's like hitting the pause button for a few minutes, and that way he knows it's not. That helps him mentally prepare. So so wait means give me a few minutes, and stay means we might be here for an hour. Not an hour yet, but that now 30 minutes. You know, that might be a 30-minute exercise. But wait is hang in there for a second, buddy. And there's nothing wrong with wait. You can absolutely use wait. But if you're going to use wait, Larry, I would use leave it. So
good.
Say wait and then point at the towel and say leave it. So he understands that you're waiting, but he cannot have that yet.
Leave it. He knows the cue leave it, or he pretends not to know it, I should say.
Now I would ask him to quiet. I would say quiet, and I would actually treat him for not barking.
Oh, very good quiet, Spider.
Good quiet.
Good quiet. Very good.
So now we're asking him to wait and focus on you and not bark with distraction, which is really fast. Okay. And not a bad thing because he's so smart that if we handle it properly, he'll remember this by the end of the night. So, or sooner. So having him wait, focus on you while he waits and leaves that alone and treat him for quiet, I think that will help him be able to focus on quiet longer. This is really challenging for him, though. I can tell you right now, this shakes his furry foundation a little.
He keeps staring over at that treat.
Yep. And I checked his stomach. I had Larry show me his stomach yesterday. He does not have a zipper. He is a dog. He is not a person in a fur coat. He's acting like it, though.
Yeah. Good. Leave it.
Good, Spider.
Good, Spider. Thank you.
Good, Spider.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, he's doing so well. This is really hard.
This is so hard.
So I'm backing away.
The second that you turn, the second he sees an opportunity.
Get up.
This is the
demotion because Larry
that's hard.
Turned his back, so he was going to take off. Okay.
He cries wolf.
No. Good.
Come on, Larry, a little bit.
All right, so this is probably giving dogs more, personifying them. But can dogs manipulate their people?
Because
I'm thinking, when Larry turned his back, if Spider went, is he manipulating Larry?
I've even seen dogs go so far as to fake a limp just to get attention.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I know my poodles, they are the bosses of me, and I'm pretty much all right with that, but I didn't know. Like if people who train their dogs can be
making it really hard on Spider right now. There's a towel over there. Nope. Leave it. Drop. Come here. Oh.
So we can see how hard it is for his demotion. I mean, it's hard. And like I said, the rest of the world is going through such crazy, and a lot of demotions are happening, and the promotions that will come around for them will be amazing if they can just have a little faith in the fact that they're headed in a good direction. They will be headed in a good direction, just like Spider is. He's headed in a direction that he has a little fear of regarding the circumstances, but the steps we're taking are helping him. The puppy steps we're taking are helping him kind of just slide into that new job easily. But he's gonna do some pushback. He's gonna give us a little pushback as expected. God bless him.
This is really hard right now. Yeah. He's doing a great job, even though he's, I've had to go off a little bit. Oh.
Yeah, he's struggling a little. This is tough.
Okay, give me another.
It's like I want the snack.
So I'm gonna let him have it in a minute. How about a sit? Give me another shake. Give me another shake. How about both?
I'm never going to be able to allow my my border collie mini Aussie to watch this show because I make her shake like 25 times in a row. Like shake, shake,
really?
shake, 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 shake. And so she's going to go, how come I have to do it 25?
Yeah.
So I can't let her watch. She's going to go, you're not nice. You're a bad mom.
I want a different parent.
I want a different mom. That's hilarious. But yeah, it will improve. We're going to see a marked difference within the next 10 days. And it's consistency, and it's consistency in Larry's language, which he's so great with. I call it doglish when you communicate with a dog. It's a very,
I like that.
it's like once you start speaking doglish to them, you can't start speaking French. You have to stick with doglish. Otherwise they go, I don't know, Polly France, what? Like,
yeah. Because otherwise my dad says, who will be training who? Yep, that is true, Dad.
Who trained you, Mr. K? That's great.
Well, let's go through the one more time where we've been on the show, and I want to share with you.
Definitely. Put your seatbelt on.
Yeah, that's right.
Some impressive guests we've had these last 50 shows.
Yeah, it's just so many great people have come to us, and just really, really grateful for all of our guests, and obviously really grateful to you guys for enjoying the show so much. You're going to see a lot of these folks coming in the future. In fact, this week we'll see Chris and Suhei Parandi again. You know, couldn't celebrate a 50th. This is Von Muller, who's a very famous movie dog trainer. And Spider's already back, wondering where the next towel is. Wire, who also worked on the dog training, she'll be back. Richard Sherwood with Drum Dala, and these are some of our speakers from Heroic Public Speaking. Yeah, Spider's back. He's wanting the next. Go get it. Go get your right?
All of these speakers have such great lessons to share, such great just nuggets of greatness, and I love their energy and their attitude, their animals. So fortunate to have met them and be able to interact with them, and Larry, the fact that you bring them here, and Robbie, you guys jump in and share so many amazing things. Thank you.
Yeah, been really great.
Yeah, we've heard such amazing stories.
Okay.
Amazing stories.
Yeah. Oh, and that's who introduced us to the Busy Box.
Yep.
Yeah. In fact, I was on a call this morning with Max Chauvin. He is attempting, and John Ramstead. Max is attempting to open up way out in Nova Scotia a community center, and it's been really challenging to be able to reopening during this time. In a week or two, the folks from Blue Nine, including Jess and Jamie, are going to be doing an expo, and we'll certainly see Steve Dale at some point again. Stavit Boudin from Israel, the Flipping Disc Dogs from Australia. It's really been just an amazing time. Yep, Steve has been with us twice already. Yeah, Deaf Dogs Rock. Christina Lee, who's really a friend of all of us.
She does amazing work.
Amazing work. And some of my friends from Heroic Public Speaking, great speakers. And Geraldine, your friend, Teresa. Yeah.
Love her.
This was our first Saturday show as well. We did her. And of course, David Fry. Look who's back and quiet.
Nice.
Spider. And Suzanne Allison, who gave Spider his name at the shelter. And this great trio of behaviorists. And here we are to our 50th anniversary. Yeah. I want to share a little bit more. as you know, our Supermodel of the Week contest goes on every week, and it's a very simple contest. People post, you post photos of your dogs, you vote on each other's dogs, meaning you share a comment, and whichever dog photo, gets the most likes, shares, and comments, becomes one of our finalists, or maybe even the Supermodel of the Week. Robbie, you and your daughter Alexa did something that we haven't done in a long time with the contest. Can you talk about that?
Are you talking about Tucker?
Yes. And the fact
so Tucker, the dog up in the corner, his mom, Barb, she shares a photo of Tucker pretty much every day. And Tucker is always either on a walk or is laying down. He's just doing the cutest things. And sorry, should have turned my phone off. And so this week, Alexa did a top 10, and we were so thrilled that Tucker was in there. And it's not that we don't love every dog that we see, but we just love the fact that his mom, Barb, is on our page every day. And we have seen Tucker so much that I feel like Alexa and I have formed this bond with him, because we look and see what Barb has done and where Tucker is. And it's like, when she said that he was in the top 10, it's like, I am so happy, because I feel like I know Tucker, even though I've never met him and I've never met his mom. So it was so cool seeing him there. And we do have so many pet parents who will share their dogs with us, once or twice a week. We have the little patriotic pup there. The pet parents will send their dogs in clothes or in beds or in strollers. And we just love seeing these adorable dogs every day. And it's like, with everything going on in life, I mean, who is not going to smile when you see sunbathing pup up there on the top left? I mean, come on.
Seriously, just precious.
Yeah, so I love it when she shares them every day, and I scroll through and see, which dogs were on, and it always makes me smile.
So we honored 10 dogs. And here are our top 5. We've got, up in the upper left, Arnold Shortenlegger. Wario, who was a past champion. Birthday Pup. And sometimes that birthday pup's name is not birthday pup. Sometimes people forget to name their dogs. And so you or Alexa make up a name for the dog, right?
Alexa usually does, yep.
And we got Fenton, looking rather dapper.
Oh, look at that hat. He's very dapper.
And
very dapper.
So now a little drum roll. Which one of these 5 is our Supermodel of the Week? Is it Arnold Shortenlegger, Oreo, Birthday Pup, Fenton, or Lola? Who would you guys vote for?
Well, don't forget we had our other 5 too, so let's get all 10 up there.
All right. Well, let's get back to these.
We're going to make it harder for people to see one.
Or Tucker, or Peeklu, or Patriotic Pup, or Pick Boy.
Yeah. Wow.
So, if I knew how to play the drums, I would do a drum roll. There you go, Carolyn.
That worked.
Right. Very good. Okay, so our Supermodel of the Week is Shortenlegger.
Bang! Love
Just
it.
that name. It's like, oh my gosh.
You are our banner all
and that face.
So, I want Spider. Good, quiet. So let me get him back to another towel. Hey, that towel. Where is it? Go get it. Bring it. So, good boy. Bring it. Attaboy. Thank you. Good job.
Now he's got to work for his own treats.
Yes, but he'll be so tired now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
We're working to expend that extra energy because it's coming out as a bark.
Yeah.
That energy has to come out somewhere. So if we work that energy out, he'll have less energy to bark. We also are demoting him
I've worn it out maybe once. So I want to show you guys a little bit behind the scenes. This is in my writer's office, the whiteboard on which I put the whole program schedule. And so there's all our shows. Well, this whiteboard is about to get erased. And yeah, I know. Started the next 50 shows. Yeah.
Yay!
Closely up right here in the top corner is a postcard with some writing on it. And it's just one of the most inspirational quotes that I've heard. Sometimes when I'm setting things up in the studio, I'll put on a podcast or the radio, and the master cellist Yo-Yo Ma happened to be being interviewed that day, and he just said the most amazing thing to me as another creator. Yo-Yo Ma said, "The purpose of culture is to make us more resilient."
Oh, and, wow.
Yeah. And what it gave me is really just more purpose, that what, what we're doing right now and bringing you guys some joy and keeping at least me out of mischief is
really?
Is to create some culture and hopefully making all of us a little bit more resilient as we emerge like butterflies from whatever cave or chrysalis we're in right now. Yeah.
True.
So I really wanted to share that with you guys. Yeah.
Resilience is a really great thing. It is animals have it. All animals have this. We have this gift as well. Thank goodness we do.
Yes.
Right.
So, yeah. Let's go into our shelter shout outs. Who wants to start?
So I'll start.
Yes.
I'm going to give a huge shout out, a huge dog hugs hug to a group out of Omaha called Snafu Rescue. I've worked with some of the pugs that they have rescued here in Kansas City on the Loving Pets videos that we filmed last year. And oh my gosh, precious dogs, some saved from some really tough situations and saw very happy outcomes. So my heart goes out to them. Keep doing what you're doing. I know that Omaha or the Midwest can be a really challenging place when it comes to the purpose of a dog because there's so much more livestock here. So outside dogs, cold weather, hot weather, a lot of different mental changes going on surrounding the way animals are handled in the Midwest. So thank you, Snafu, for being a positive role model for that out of Omaha. Oh, you have my heart.
Yes. Robbie, who's on your mind, on your heart today for
my shelter shout out is Alley Cat Rescue up here in Alexandria Bay, New York. And they're not a physical shelter. It is a network of people who foster cats.
Oh, I like that.
So if cats are found abandoned or anything anywhere, this network comes together. They take these cats or kittens, nurse them back to health if they need it, and then they put them up for adoption. They had sent me a photo a couple of weeks ago of this tiny little black cat with the most amazing blue eyes. They had just found him. He was malnourished. I think they had to syringe feed him. He was so young. And then I think he also had pneumonia, and now he's on his way to health. And the lady who fostered him and was doing all of the hourly feeding decided to adopt him. So to me, that's so amazing. I just love that group. I know.
Is it the kitten that you brought on the show once, or you brought a photo of the kitten on the show?
I brought a photo, yes. Yeah. And I was determined, remember, that I was going to make that kitten my own, but the foster family ended up keeping him. They fell in love with him, and you saw that face.
Oh,
you had to fall in love with him.
I wanted him.
Wait there.
I know, he was so cute. I was so happy he found a home.
Yeah, that's
beautiful.
Great. Well, that, as you might imagine, my shelter shout out is going to Pet Orphans, where I met Spider on one of my film sets, and where Suzanne Allison, president, named Spider, gave him his name. My shout out goes to them. not just for that one day for Adopt, where I met Spider on one of my film sets, but on the more than 50 different films that I've been able to make with them. And they've just been so generous in opening their facility up to me. I am just thrilled, in keeping touch with Suzanne Allison, that Pet Orphans, has adopted out all of its animals, all of their animals,
Wow.
their dogs and their cats. And they're now in the process of bringing back a few at a time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Not either back from foster or pulling from the county shelter.
Oh, wow.
So, that's really amazing
Mhm.
work. So we've got 3 great rescue organizations today, giving shout outs to Pet Orphans, to Alley Cat Rescue, and to Snafu Rescue. Beautiful.
Thanks, rescues.
Yeah. And
Definitely.
do you guys have some personal gratitude today? That you can give a blessing?
So I'll jump in right away. And this is I'm going to really share how I feel in my heart today.
Yeah.
Oppression is a word that shouldn't be in our dictionary, but it is in our dictionary. It doesn't belong there. No dog, no woman, no African American, no different colored skin person, different from wherever they're located, should ever be oppressed. And it's happening all over the world in very unfair ways. Not that someone may have intended it, but they weren't aware of what their actions were causing. And I wish everyone would pause. And I want to have gratitude for all the people who have had their oppression button pushed. It is not an easy thing to be resilient around. It is very unfair, and it can make people very angry. So for all of those out there that suffer from oppression, I am one of those that have suffered from oppression as well. But I'm never going to sit there and say mine was worse than anyone else's out there, because it's all relative and it's all awful. So thank you to all of you who pushed that pause button and didn't freak out and attack somebody over something that you could have, maybe should have, but you rose above and remembered who you were dealing with, and you forgave them because they did not know what they were doing. So my heart goes out to you, all of you out there that have had those experiences. It may not be the last time, but let's hope it is. And let's hope that all these things that are happening can help open up the eyes of everyone across the world and start helping each other instead of harming each other.
Amen. Beautifully said.
I honestly, I want to piggyback on what Geraldine said, and I really don't have much to add to that other than, even if there's times I don't understand something or something that somebody is going through, it doesn't mean that I can't somehow empathize. And I really want to do something, even though there's times it's like you just feel so helpless. Yeah. So I think just, people talking and coming together and wanting to find a way to make things better, it kind of like gives me the impetus to at least try to make a change.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Robbie. That is really beautiful. Yeah. My shout out today in the city of Los Angeles goes to our mayor, Eric Garcetti, who is having to deal with a lot of stuff right now. He's got, very difficult lockdown from coronavirus on top of unrest, on top of finding a new path forward to bring our city together even more on just so many challenges. And so I appreciate what go get your towel, buddy. Hey, that's it. That's how it works.
Spider's like, I've been quiet for too long.
I've met my quiet threshold, Dad.
Yeah.
He is doing. We will see a lot of changes. I'm looking forward to him.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Well, you guys, we look forward to having you again with us tomorrow. We have with us another one of my heroic public speaking friends, Joanne Grabelauer, who is talking about emotional intelligence. She's got some great ways to help us deal with those moments in which we're triggered and to be able to reroute those kinds of experiences. So I hope you'll join us for that. And thank you guys so much for joining us. Oh, we got a nice amen from my neighbor, Nora. Thank you, Nora. Yeah. All right, well, this is all week long. We're going to be celebrating our 50th show anniversary. You'll see the Parandis on Thursday. Robbie, you've got the Cat Box on Wednesday.
I have Conversations from the Cat Box, and I will be interviewing Marcy Koski. She is a feline behavior specialist.
Fantastic.
So we'll be taking some questions from the audience if you have a cat who has some issues.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. And then on Friday, we have a good friend of Geraldine's. Who do we have on Friday?
We have Mr. John O'Hurley, better known as the co-host of the Beverly Hills Dog Show, the National Dog Show, and of course, well known for many things he's done, Broadway, Vegas shows, and Seinfeld. A little thing called Seinfeld. So,
Mr. Peterman, right?
We'll have Mr. Peterman. We'll have a great time.
Have you guys with us. So big hugs to everybody. Yeah, Spider's busy on his busy box or busy.
Good.
All right. We'll see you guys.
I love you, Spider.
Bye, everybody.
You love me.
Bye, guys.
Bye.